In 1944, during the reading 527562, Edgar Cayce's stenographer paused mid-sentence, gripped by disbelief as she heard shocking insights about dying peacefully in one's sleep. In his extensive collection of over 14,000 recorded readings, Cayce revealed truths about consciousness that most individuals will never encounter in their lives. The information I'm about to present has been kept in the archives of the Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach for more than 80 years. Before we delve into these insights, be sure to subscribe and activate notifications, as the knowledge you're about to gain from Cayce's documented sessions will forever change your perspective on death, sleep, and the soul's journey. This isn't mere speculation or theory. These are direct transcripts from the most thoroughly documented psychic in American history. Have you ever considered why some individuals seem to pass away so effortlessly while others face challenges? Have you ever experienced a deep dream that made you feel as though you were in an entirely different place, only to awaken and question its reality? Have you encountered that peculiar feeling of hovering above your own body while asleep? The insights from Cayce's readings indicate that these phenomena are far more interconnected than you might think, and they are, in fact, preparing you for something much more significant than it may seem. In the upcoming hour, I will present 7 documented insights from Edgar Cayce's readings that will transform your perception of sleep and death forever. To start, discover the startling truth about what happens to your consciousness while your body rests, and why this is crucial for your spiritual growth. Secondly, there is a recorded instance from reading 136-18 that demonstrates that dying in one's sleep is not as commonly perceived. Thirdly, there exists esoteric knowledge regarding why certain souls opt to depart during sleep and its implications for their spiritual development. Fourthly, Cayce's insights on the silver cord and its role during sleep compared to death. Fifthly, there are documented accounts of individuals who have interacted with departed loved ones in their last moments before passing away. Sixthly, the relationship between meditation techniques and serene passing during sleep. Lastly, Cayce offered practical approaches to readying one's consciousness for the eventual spiritual journey. Before delving deeper, I want to share a startling event that took place in Virginia Beach in 1944, which astonished even Cayce's most loyal stenographer, Gladys Davis. This woman had transcribed countless readings and believed she had heard it all. During the session 57562, Edgar Cayce was inquired about a woman named Helen Morrison, who had passed away peacefully in her sleep after enduring a long illness. What emerged from this reading was so surprising that Gladys halted her typing in the middle of a sentence and gazed at the individuals present with wide eyes. Cayce revealed that Helen's soul had been preparing for her transition for several months, utilizing her sleep state to gradually adjust to higher spiritual realms. However, what truly left everyone in the room in awe was Cayce's assertion that Helen had been participating in what he described as soul school during her sleep for more than 6 months prior to her physical demise. On these nightly adventures, her awareness transcended to spiritual dimensions, where enlightened beings imparted wisdom about the process of transition, unveiled the splendor of the afterlife, and assisted her in letting go of any anxieties regarding the departure from her physical form. But hold on, it gets even more fascinating. Cayce shared that during profound slumber, our consciousness instinctively detaches from the physical body to explore what he referred to as the borderland between the tangible and spiritual worlds. This isn't merely metaphorical or lyrical phrasing. In his analysis of 57542, He highlighted specific instances where people encountered departed loved ones in their dreams, gaining insight and being prepared for their own forthcoming transitions. You may be considering that this sounds like another interpretation from a psychic perspective, but it's important to note that Edgar Cayce's readings were recorded by professional stenographers and witnessed by numerous individuals, including doctors, lawyers, and clergy. These readings are housed at the Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach. They are not mere anecdotes or interpretations. They are exact transcripts capturing what was conveyed during his psychic experiences, with many of these readings subsequently confirmed by the recipients. This information fundamentally alters our understanding of death during sleep. In reading 26-86, Cayce disclosed that the soul does not abruptly cease to exist when the body stops functioning during sleep. Rather, he illustrated a gradual process in which consciousness progressively withdraws from the physical body, often spanning several hours or even days before physical death takes place. He described this process as remarkably gentle, to the point that individuals often remain unaware of their transition until they have fully entered the spiritual realm. This observation accounts for why numerous doctors and nurses note that patients who pass away peacefully in their sleep frequently appear to interact with unseen entities in the days preceding their death. They might converse with departed family members, recount enchanting locations they are exploring, or share their excitement about heading to a magnificent place. According to Cayce's readings, these individuals are initiating their transition, encountering spiritual guides and loved ones who assist in the journey. However, this is the aspect that will challenge your previous perceptions of sleep itself. In rating 57541, Cayce explained that each night while you sleep, you are essentially rehearsing for death. Your consciousness separates from your physical form, exploring spiritual realms before coming back. The key distinction between sleep and death is that during sleep, the silver cord mentioned in biblical references stays unbroken, enabling your consciousness to reunite with your body. Take a moment to reflect on this. How often have you experienced dreams that felt so intense and genuine that you woke up wondering if they were real events? How often have you found yourself envisioning destinations you've never visited, yet they seem more recognizable than your own residence? Based on Cayce's recorded sessions, these encounters are not merely the product of your subconscious during slumber. They represent genuine spiritual travels your soul embarks on while your body is at rest. In Reading 136-83, Cayce recounted the story of a man named Robert Patterson, who sought his help due to a deep fear of passing away in his sleep. This individual had been experiencing repetitive dreams in which he wandered through stunning, otherworldly scenery, encountering individuals he had never met before, yet felt a strange sense of familiarity with. These dreams felt so vivid that he would awaken feeling more refreshed and serene than he had in a long time. Yet they also filled him with an unexplainable dread regarding their implications. Cayce explained that Robert possessed a natural talent for conscious projection while asleep, and what he was experiencing were genuine excursions into spiritual realms where souls reside after they leave their physical bodies. The individuals he encountered were enlightened souls guiding him in understanding higher dimensions of existence. Rather than being a source of fear, these experiences were, in fact, preparing Robert for his own future spiritual growth. However, there's something even more astonishing that Cayce disclosed about the reasons why some souls opt to transition during their sleep. In Reading 1968-2, he discussed how passing away during sleep can often be a soul's method for circumventing the trauma and fear that might impede a seamless spiritual transition. The soul, utilizing the subconscious mind, essentially arranges the moment of physical death to happen in sleep when the conscious mind's apprehensions and oppositions are minimized. This perspective significantly alters how we perceive death that occurs in slumber. Instead of viewing it as coincidental or tragic, Cayce's insights indicate it frequently represents a form of spiritual insight and preparation. The soul, with its boundless wisdom, opts for the least resistant journey toward higher realms of existence. I would like to present to you one of the most thoroughly documented and substantiated cases from Cayce's archives that supports this notion. In 1943, a woman by the name of Margaret Thompson sought Cayce's assistance because her aging father, William, had been experiencing what she referred to as visitation dreams for a number of months. In these dreams, his deceased mother, Sarah, would appear, revealing to him stunning gardens and serene locations, consistently encouraging him not to fear what lay ahead. During reading 39-76-15, Cayce confirmed that Sarah's spirit was indeed visiting William to prepare him for his own transition. He elucidated that Sarah was guiding William through the spiritual realms where they would eventually reunite, helping him grasp the idea that death was not an end, but rather a beautiful new beginning. 3 weeks following this reading, William passed away quietly in his sleep, wearing a smile that his daughter remarked resembled someone welcoming an old friend. Margaret subsequently noted that during his last days, William appeared more at ease than he had been for years, frequently mentioning the lovely places he encountered in his dreams and eagerly anticipating his reunion with Sarah. The evening before his passing, he told Margaret, "Your mother is waiting for me in a stunning garden unlike any you've ever seen. Don't be upset when I join her tomorrow." Cayce later shared insights into the true nature of dying in one's sleep that many people are unaware of. In reading 2072-14, he explained that consciousness does not just abruptly depart from the body. Rather than a sudden end, there are what he referred to as practice departures that may unfold weeks or even months prior to actual physical demise. Throughout these phases, the soul slowly adapts to existing independently of the body, gaining skills to navigate spiritual realms and gearing up for a permanent shift. However, the truly astonishing revelation, which even took Cayce's closest allies by surprise, is that during various readings, including 5756-27, he disclosed that some people deliberately select their death moment while asleep. This choice is often made due to spiritual guidance regarding the most favorable timing for their soul's progress. Such moments frequently align with astrological patterns, critical stages in spiritual growth, or the fulfillment of essential karmic lessons. Reflect on the implications of this. Your dear ones who departed quietly during their sleep were not casualties of chance. Based on Cayce's recorded insights, they collaborated with spiritual guides and higher understanding to guarantee that their transition took place at the ideal time for the growth of their soul and spiritual evolution. You may be curious about your own experiences during sleep and their significance for your spiritual progress. Cayce thoroughly explored this in his readings concerning soul evolution and consciousness growth, offering comprehensive advice for those wishing to comprehend their nighttime spiritual journeys. In reading 5753, Cayce noted that individuals who experience vivid and significant dreams or out-of-body sensations while sleeping are typically spiritually advanced souls with a natural talent for conscious projection. These phenomena are not merely random brain activity or psychological events. Rather, they represent genuine spiritual journeys that facilitate soul evolution and conscious spiritual growth. Furthermore, in reading 26289, Cayce revealed that some souls are born with unique capabilities for conscious travel during sleep. These individuals frequently describe dreams of flying, exploring far-off places, or conversing with departed loved ones. Instead of treating these experiences as simple dreams, Cayce urged people to recognize them as authentic spiritual encounters. However, there's another aspect that Cayce shared, which links sleep, death, and spiritual awakening in a manner that many people often overlook. In his reading 26/2020, he detailed how engaging in meditation and prayer prior to sleep can significantly enhance the soul's capacity to travel consciously while in sleep states, facilitating a smoother and more aware transition at the moment of death. This is the reason many spiritual paths highlight the importance of evening prayers and meditation. According to Cayce's insights, these rituals serve a purpose beyond mere relaxation or stress alleviation. They actually prepare individuals for conscious spiritual journeys and the experience of dying consciously. By meditating before bed, you're effectively training your awareness to stay present during the natural process of separation that happens each night as you sleep. I'd like to present another documented case that exemplifies this concept beautifully. In 1942, a meditation group based in Virginia Beach inquired about one of their members, Dorothy Williams, who had recently passed away in her sleep after many years of devoted spiritual work. Dorothy had been a participant in their prayer and meditation circle for over 10 years, and her tranquil passing prompted them to contemplate the link between spiritual practices and a peaceful transition. In reading 26/277, Cayce disclosed that Dorothy's extensive meditation and spiritual exploration had equipped her consciousness to maintain awareness and engagement during her transition, enabling her to assist other souls who were also moving to the next stage. He noted that Dorothy's commitment to her spiritual growth had granted her the honor of serving as what he termed a transition guide for other souls, facilitating their journey from physical to spiritual realms. Here's a perspective that fundamentally alters how you ought to view your sleep and spiritual readiness. According to Cayce's insights, each night presents a chance to engage in deliberate spiritual journeys, connect with guides and mentors, and ready your consciousness for its eventual transcendence beyond the physical realm. Rather than merely a break for your body, sleep serves as advanced training for your soul. In his reading 57542, Cayce offered detailed advice for those seeking to heighten their awareness during sleep states. He advocated for maintaining a dream journal to log spiritual encounters, meditating prior to sleep to enhance conscious projection, and establishing the intention to remember and learn from spiritual experiences that take place while asleep. Cayce underscored the significance of establishing optimal conditions for spiritual journeys during sleep. In readings 136/7, he detailed how factors such as the bedroom atmosphere, the person's mental state before drifting off, and their spiritual readiness all affect the quality and awareness of nighttime spiritual expeditions. However, the most insightful revelation from Cayce's discussions about death in sleep comes from reading 147/212. He conveyed that souls who make a tranquil transition during slumber frequently do so because they have fulfilled their earthly lessons and are prepared for the next stage of their spiritual evolution. This serene departure represents a graduation rather than a misfortune. This indicates that the soul has effectively finished its earthly lessons and is prepared for further spiritual growth in higher realms. This perspective shifts our understanding of the passing of loved ones during sleep. Instead of perceiving it as abrupt or unforeseen, Cayce's interpretation encourages us to see it as a symbol of spiritual fulfillment and a deliberate decision. The soul, in its wisdom, has concluded that it has learned all it needed to on earth and has opted for the most gentle means of transition. Furthermore, Cayce pointed out in reading 39-76-29 that souls who transition peacefully in their sleep frequently continue to act as guides and mentors for those still incarnated physically. Their smooth transition enables them to preserve a robust link to the tangible world while functioning from elevated spiritual dimensions, making them perfect guides for those who are still navigating earthly lessons. Now let's delve into what Cayce shared regarding the silver cord and its significance in sleep compared to death. In reading 57-548, he characterized the silver cord as the energetic link that facilitates consciousness to move outside the physical form during sleep, while still ensuring the ability to return. He further clarified that this cord is referenced in biblical scriptures and constitutes a genuine energetic phenomenon that connects the physical body to the spiritual essence. While sleeping, the silver cord extends to permit consciousness to voyage vast distances while still tethered to the physical self. At the moment of death, the soul deliberately severs the silver cord when it is prepared to make a permanent shift to a spiritual state of being. Cayce explained that this act of severing is an intentional decision by the soul, never an inadvertent event or random happening. In reading 262-215, Cayce recounted experiences of people who faced near-death episodes during sleep, but were returned to the physical realm because their silver cord was still unbroken, indicating that their soul felt their earthly purpose was not yet fulfilled. Many of these individuals shared experiences of traversing through tunnel-like structures toward a radiant light, encountering deceased loved ones, and being informed that it wasn't their moment to remain. Additionally, Cayce offered intriguing insights regarding advanced souls and their connection to the silver cord. In reading 57-564, he discussed how spiritually evolved people can actively manage their silver cord, which enables them to engage in more profound and intentional spiritual journeys while they sleep. Such individuals often serve as conduits between the physical and spiritual worlds, returning vital insights and guidance for others. Furthermore, Cayce tackled the question regarding the fate of consciousness right after the silver cord is cut at the time of death. In reading 136-21, he clarified that consciousness does not instantly sever all ties to the physical world. Instead, there is an adjustment phase during which the newly transitioned soul learns to function solely within spiritual dimensions, while still retaining awareness of loved ones who remain in the physical form. Cayce disclosed that this adjustment phase is the reason why numerous people report feeling the presence of recently departed loved ones, receiving signs or messages, or sensing their guidance during challenging moments. The soul that has just transitioned is in the process of learning how to communicate from spiritual realms while providing comfort and support to those who remain in the physical world. Allow me to present another documented instance that showcases this beautifully. In 1945, a woman named Elizabeth Carter visited Cayce, heartbroken over the unexpected demise of her husband during the night. During reading 1567-2, Cayce indicated that her husband's spirit was indeed attempting to reach out to her during her own sleep, offering reassurance and demonstrating that his transition had been both serene and beautiful. Cayce urged Elizabeth to focus on her dreams and to have faith in the messages from her husband that she was experiencing in her sleep. He clarified that the love connecting souls surpasses physical death, and her husband was utilizing their mutual love as a means to stay in touch with her during her time of grief. Now, let's delve into what Cayce disclosed regarding the preparation for conscious death through spiritual practice. In reading 262-231, he stated that those who commit to spiritual growth throughout their physical existence are readying their consciousness for an eventual conscious transition. This process entails learning to distinguish consciousness from physical identity while fully embracing spiritual identity. Cayce suggested a number of particular practices for effective preparation. Engaging in daily meditation allows the mind to feel at ease functioning separately from the physical body. Moreover, prayer and spiritual study broaden one's awareness of spiritual realms and truths. Helping others fosters the soul's attributes required for an elevated spiritual state, while conscious dream work during sleep offers hands-on experience in spiritual exploration and communication. In Reading 575-411, Cayce explained that souls who consciously pass away during sleep often do so because they have mastered these spiritual disciplines throughout their lives. Their conscious transition serves as a final testament to their spiritual growth, illustrating that they have come to recognize their identity with the spiritual rather than the physical realm. You might find it surprising what Cayce taught about dying in one's sleep. In Reading 1968-7, he disclosed that certain souls deliberately opt for lives that culminate in a sleep transition. This manner of passing allows them to act as examples and educators for others. Their tranquil departures aid in alleviating the fear of death for those who observe or hear about their journeys. Cayce noted that these souls often reincarnate with distinct purposes aimed at illustrating the serenity and beauty of a conscious spiritual transition. Their existence and their deaths function as educational tools for those on a spiritual path, helping them understand the true essence of life beyond the physical realm. Cayce also explored the aspect of timing related to death during sleep. In Reading 3976-8, he indicated that the moment of death while one is asleep is never left to chance. It is always in harmony with spiritual laws and the evolutionary requirements of the soul. This moment typically aligns with the fulfillment of karmic responsibilities, the reaching of significant spiritual goals, or ideal conditions for the next stage of the soul's growth. As we approach the end of our examination of Edgar Cayce's profound insights regarding death and sleep, it's important to reflect on how these insights can affect your own spiritual journey and preparations. According to Cayce's teachings, you can start readying yourself now for your future conscious transition by nurturing the same practices that facilitate consciousness movement during sleep. Consistent meditation, engagement in spiritual learning, helping others, and mindful reflection on your dreams all enhance your soul's preparedness for eventual spiritual advancement. In Reading 26-244, Cayce highlighted that death should not be feared. Rather, it should be embraced and prepared for with joy. He likened it to the soul's graduation from basic schooling to a more profound spiritual education in elevated dimensions of existence. Moreover, Cayce indicated that souls who consciously ready themselves for death during their lifetime tend to enter a more beautiful and expansive spiritual reality after their transition. This conscious preparation enables them to quickly access higher spiritual realms and engage in more sophisticated forms of service to other souls. Keep in mind that as per the insights of America's most extensively recorded psychic, passing away in your sleep is neither random nor tragic, and it's certainly not something to dread. It is frequently an intentional choice made by enlightened beings who have fulfilled their lessons on this planet and are poised to embark on their next significant journey in the realm of spirituality. So, the next time you settle down for sleep, recall Edgar Cayce's 14,000 documented readings. You're not merely relaxing your body. You are setting off on a spiritual voyage that prepares you for the ultimate experience of consciousness, your eventual mindful transition to a purely spiritual state. Your sleep is not simply idle time. It's a period of training for your soul's perpetual journey. Each night, You are honing the abilities necessary for your transition from physical reality to a boundless spiritual existence. If delving into Edgar Cayce's extensive readings has broadened your understanding of consciousness and spiritual growth, be sure to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell. Don't forget to share this video with anyone who has pondered the profound significance of sleep and death. And feel free to tell me in the comments about any vivid dreams or spiritual encounters you've experienced while asleep. Your experiences may hold more weight than you realize, and could be preparing you for an extraordinary journey. Keep in mind, as stated in Edgar Cayce's 14,000 documented readings kept at the Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach, death is not the finale. It represents a conscious advancement to a higher level of existence, while sleep serves as your nightly rehearsal for that ultimate spiritual quest. Each night, you are being readied for the most exquisite journey your spirit will ever embark on.